For centuries, crows have symbolized mystery, intelligence, and the untold. But behind their somber appearance and sharp gaze lies a creature that can recognize your face, sense kindness, and know who its friends are. And sometimes, it chooses you before you even realize it. In this video, I'll show you how to befriend a wild crow in 5 simple steps and share 9 compelling reasons to like crows. Step 1. Observe and identify where crows live. Crows are highly familiar with urban life. In fact, they're known as cultural followers, creatures that adapt exceptionally well to human environments. You can find them in nearly every city, from Vancouver to Tokyo, from busy parks to quiet neighborhoods. So really, all you need to do is pay closer attention to your surroundings. Do you hear or see crows in your area? Maybe from your window, your balcony, on the street, or in a nearby park? Crows usually live in pairs, and each pair maintains a specific territory, sometimes as small as half a city block. Once you've located the home zone of a crow couple, it becomes much easier to observe their behavior, recognize unique traits, and start building a relationship. Watch for signs that help you tell individuals apart. One might have a white tail feather, a slight limp, or a habit of tilting its head when it looks at you. These little details help you know for sure that you're interacting with the same birds each day, a key step in earning their trust. Helpful tips. Spend a few minutes each day just watching. Bring a small pair of binoculars or a camera if you have one. Keep track of when and where you see crows most often. Give each crow a nickname if you notice unique features. This helps create a more personal bond. Step 2. Offer the right food. Crows are master omnivores. In the wild, their diet includes everything from insects, eggs, snails, and lizards to fruits, nuts, vegetables, and even carrion. That means you have plenty of good options to start with. One of the most popular choices among crow lovers is shelled peanuts. They're clean, convenient, and fun to watch, because crows have to actively work to crack them open. Other great options include chopped boiled eggs, dried mealworms, sunflower seeds, or small pieces of lean meat. Avoid feeding them. Bread, salt, seasoned foods, or chocolate. Bread may fill them up, but offers little nutritional value. Salt, fried foods, chocolate, and anything heavily seasoned can seriously harm a crow's digestive system, even if they seem eager to try your fries or snack crumbs. Consistency is key. Try to leave food out in the same place, at the same time every day. Crows love routine. When you stick to a schedule and location, they'll quickly learn to associate your presence with safety and food. At first, they might only watch from a distance, but after a few days, if you remain calm and non-threatening, they'll start inching closer, little by little. One crow enthusiast shared a sweet moment.
I started putting out a few peanuts each morning, exactly at 7:30. At first, no one came, but on the 5th day, I heard a familiar caw. Then one crow landed, looked right at me, and picked up the first peanut. I was deeply moved. It was the first moment they truly trusted me.
Step 3. Respect a crow's space and body language. When you start feeding crows, or even just approaching their territory, your first priority isn't to attract them, but to avoid scaring them away. Crows have clear and expressive body language if you know what to look for. If they feel uneasy, they might take a step back, tuck their wings, turn their heads sharply, or scan their surroundings with quick eye movements. A direct stare, getting too close, or a sudden movement, even if unintentional, can instantly break their trust and cause them to fly off. Try sitting 10 to 15 feet, 3 to 5 meters, away after placing food. Avoid direct eye contact. Instead, use soft, glancing looks, or pretend you're not paying attention. Wild animals, especially intelligent ones like crows, are incredibly sensitive to threatening stares. On the flip side, they can also sense respect when you stay calm, quiet, and give them space. Some people new to crow friending say they often bring a book or phone, not to distract themselves, but to deflect attention and seem less intimidating. One person shared that it took them several months to get a single good portrait of a neighborhood crow. So if a crow flies off the moment you get close, don't be discouraged. Maybe the next day, it will take 2 seconds longer to fly away. A few days later, it might stay perched on a branch and watch you for a bit. Each small behavior is a sign that trust is slowly forming.
How you doing? Are you stuck in the blizzard? Say hello. Say hello. Hey, hello. Hello. Hello.
Step 4. Build trust through consistent communication. Here's something surprising. Crows actually enjoy hearing you talk.
How are you?
You don't need to mimic bird calls or shout across the yard. Just speak softly, gently, as if you were telling a quiet story to an old friend.
Yeah, what a good bird.
Your voice will gradually become a signal of safety. Over time, the sound of your voice becomes linked to your appearance. Some people even create a unique audio cue, like a short whistle or gentle sound made every time they offer food. And after a few weeks, the crows begin to recognize it and may even fly in early when they hear it. But trust can't be rushed. Crows need time to watch you, and they do watch closely. They remember how you walk, how you move your arms, the sound of your footsteps, and most importantly, are you consistent? Are you kind? One person who built a long-term connection with a crow shared,
I went away for a week, and when I came back, the crow I'd gotten close to showed up on the roof of my car and let out 3 sharp caws, like it was reminding me. I wasn't sure if it was annoyed or happy, but clearly it remembered me.
Studies have shown that crows can recognize individual human faces, and they don't just remember, they also share that knowledge with others in their flock. A kind gesture today could open the door to many friendly visits down the line. Tips to maintain a strong bond. Interact regularly. Not necessarily every day, but with a rhythm they can rely on. Avoid drastic changes in your appearance, like wearing unusual hats or carrying large objects, as this might reset their comfort level. Spend quiet time together. Sometimes, just being there is enough. Step 5. Add a bird bath. Just like humans, crows can't live without water. But for them, water isn't just for drinking. Crows often dip their food in water before eating, especially dry or hard items. And they absolutely love to bathe, sometimes with so much excitement, it looks more like they're playing than cleaning. So if you truly want to make your space a friendly zone for a crow pair, placing a clean water bowl near where you leave food, or nearby, is a meaningful next step in building trust. Remember, you don't need a fancy bird bath or a large fountain. A simple plastic bowl, a deep dish, or even an old pot works just fine, as long as it's clean, easy to refill, and visible from above. Some crow lovers even refer to this as an outdoor mini spa, because once they feel safe, crows will dip their beaks, fluff their feathers, and sometimes splash water everywhere in sheer delight. It's a rare and beautiful moment, seeing a wild animal truly relax next to you, unafraid, unguarded, just being. After spending time observing, sharing food, and being genuinely patient, you'll begin to realize a crow is not just a bird, it's a sentient being. Intelligent, emotional, full of personality, capable of creating surprising, even unforgettable moments in everyday life. And if you've ever wondered why so many people, myself included, have come to truly love these birds, then join me as we explore more deeply. 9 reasons to love crows. Reason 1. A misunderstood bird. We fear what we don't understand and often dismiss what doesn't fit our idea of beauty. In Western folklore, crows have long been associated with death, bad omens, and darkness. They appear alongside witches in ghost stories or perched atop gravestones. Many people feel a chill run down their spine when they see a group of crows gathered, as if something ominous is about to happen. But why? Simply because of their jet-black feathers, piercing eyes, and their raspy caw, a sound far removed from the gentle melodies we expect from birds. Instead of sweet birdsong, crows vocalize like whispers cutting through fog, leading many to mistake them as harbingers of misfortune. And yet, behind that dark exterior is a deeply intelligent, emotional creature with a complex social life. Crows can recognize human faces, distinguish friend from foe, and even leave thank you gifts for people who treat them kindly. Despite all this, they've been unfairly cast as ominous figures, all because we haven't taken the time to truly understand them. Reason 2. Loyalty and strong family bonds. In the bird world, not every species chooses to mate for life, but crows often do. Crow pairs tend to stay together for the long haul, and their bond goes far beyond reproduction. It's a true partnership. Crows are generally monogamous, and in some ways, they might even take commitment more seriously than humans. They don't rush into finding a mate as soon as they reach maturity. Instead, they may spend years living with their parents and siblings before carefully choosing the right partner. A crow's family isn't just about genetics. It's a tight-knit support system that spans generations. A single crow family can include 10 to 15 individuals. Parents, offspring from previous years, and even aunts and uncles from earlier nesting seasons. Perhaps it's this patience in choosing a partner, combined with a deep sense of family responsibility, that helps crows maintain such stable, long-lasting relationships, something not every species, including our own, manages so well. Reason 3. Cooperative parenting. If you think only bird parents raise their chicks, crows will make you think again. In a crow's world, raising young is a family affair, and the bonds between generations run deeper than you might imagine. Behavior is known as cooperative breeding, and it's extremely rare among birds. But for crows, it's more than a strategy. It's part of their flock culture. No rivalry, no jealousy, just a shared sense of purpose within a bonded family. Can you picture a young crow, maybe 2 or 3 years old, still living at home, carrying insects, seeds, or bits of fruit back to help feed its mother and younger siblings? That's not an exception in crow families, it's the norm. And this deep-rooted teamwork, this daily act of shared responsibility, is what builds such resilient crow communities, where family isn't just expressed in cause, but proven in quiet, consistent care. For crows, "You don't appreciate your mother until you're grown" isn't just a saying, it's a way of life. Reason 4. Crows hold funerals. Very few bird species show concern for death the way crows do. When one of their own dies, other crows gather around the body, sometimes in silence, other times with sharp, distinct calls. To the outside observer, it looks very much like a funeral. And in fact, that's exactly what many researchers have called it: funeral-like behavior. But crows don't do this just to mourn. They do it to learn and to protect each other. If a crow has been killed by a predator, like an owl, hawk, or even a human, the others take note. They remember the threat, and the next time they spot that same predator, they work together to drive it away, sometimes relentlessly. This behavior reveals an astonishing level of awareness. Crows understand loss. They remember, they analyze, and they respond not just for themselves, but for the good of the flock. Some scientists believe that these gatherings around the dead are a form of communication. a way to share danger signals and pass along critical knowledge. An emotional and cognitive security system built from memory and shared experience. So if you ever witness a group of crows gathered, cawing loudly and refusing to leave, you may be seeing a moment of farewell, a ritual of warning and remembrance from creatures we've too often misunderstood as cold or indifferent. Reason 5. Hidden beauty. In many people's minds, crows are just black, plain, lifeless, and lacking the dazzling colors we admire in other birds. But the truth is quite the opposite. Under sunlight, especially in the early morning or at dusk, a crow's feathers take on a shimmering glow, reflecting mystical shades of emerald green, deep violet, sapphire blue, and bronze. This is known as iridescent black, a phenomenon seen in birds with feather structures that bend and reflect light in subtle, brilliant ways. Look closely, and you'll see that each feather is like fine embroidery, textured with soft ripples of light and shadow, creating a beauty that doesn't scream for attention, but quietly captivates. Unlike pheasants or birds of paradise, which dazzle in the open with bursts of color, crows have their own style of beauty, restrained, hidden in plain sight, like a black pearl resting beneath the sand. If you've ever caught the light hitting a crow at just the right moment, you'll understand why crow lovers never call them dark or gloomy, but rather enchanting, elegant, and deeply alluring. Sometimes, true beauty isn't about bright colors, but about pausing, looking closer, and being willing to see with new eyes. Reason 6. Fearless and fiercely territorial. Crows may not be the largest or most majestic birds in the sky, but don't let that fool you. They are remarkably brave, and they defend their territory with such intensity. It's hard not to admire them. They don't just scream and scatter when a predator arrives. Crows will chase off owls, hawks, even bald eagles, cawing furiously and sometimes diving straight at their target with astonishing boldness. In fact, very few bird species dare to go after a bald eagle, but crows do it like it's just another part of the day. And it's not just birds of prey. If a fox, cat, or coyote dares to sneak too close to their nest, crows don't stay quiet. The whole group will rise into the air, let out sharp alarm calls, circle above, and yes, dive bomb the intruder, sometimes even making physical contact. Their defense is coordinated, loud, and fearless, and it sends a clear message. This is our territory, and we protect our own. Reason 7. Ecological benefits. Crows are often labeled as crop pests or nest robbers, but recent research has shown that they actually bring far greater ecological value than we once believed. Crows consume large amounts of insects, larvae, and dead animals, all of which, if left unchecked, can become breeding grounds for disease. Especially in the spring, when fresh food becomes more abundant, their diet shifts primarily to earthworms and insects, not bird eggs or corn as many rumors suggest. A study in Ontario, Canada revealed something remarkable. Cornfields visited by crows during winter had fewer corn borer infestations in the next growing season. Why? Because the crows cleaned up the overwintering larvae hiding in old stalks, a free natural pest control service, done without anyone asking. In addition, crows play a key role as nature's cleanup crew. From mice and squirrels to injured birds, crows readily dispose of dead animals before disease has a chance to spread, helping keep ecosystems healthier and more balanced. And if you've ever heard someone blame crows for spreading West Nile virus, the truth is, they're not the culprits. They're the victims. Crows die from the virus. They don't transmit it to humans. Reason 8. Extraordinary intelligence. If you think intelligence is something unique to humans, crows will make you think again. These birds aren't just smart. They're among the most intelligent species on the planet, with the ability to reason, solve problems, and even invent tools to achieve their goals. In the wild, crows have been observed using sticks to extract insects from tree crevices, shaping leaves or breaking shells to create tools, and even throwing pine cone fragments at tree climbers getting too close to their nest. These aren't just instinctive actions. They show planning, adaptability, and real-time problem-solving. Crows also remember human routines. They can recognize garbage truck schedules, know which drivers are likely to open lids for them, and even wait at familiar drop-off points to grab a quick snack. One of the most incredible observations came from a busy intersection in Tokyo. Researchers watched as crows dropped hard-shelled nuts onto the street, then waited for traffic to pass and crack them open. When the light turned red, they calmly swooped down to collect the now accessible food, then flew back to repeat the process like a well-practiced routine. And if that's not enough, a famous study from the University of Washington revealed the full extent of a crow's memory and social intelligence. Researchers wore caveman-style masks while capturing and tagging crows. The birds remembered the masked faces and began warning others whenever someone wearing the same mask returned. Even years later, long after the originally captured crows had died, newer generations still recognized the mask and reacted strongly, proving that crows not only remember threats, but also pass that knowledge along. Reason 9. Personal connection. When you feed a crow a few times, you might think it's just a random interaction. But if you continue, consistently, kindly, and with respect, something begins to shift. The crow will start to remember your face, recognize the sound of your footsteps, your car, even the time you usually show up. Some people have shared that a crow perches on their fence each morning, softly cawing a greeting, or even leaving small gifts: a pebble, a bottle cap, a twisted twig. Simple, ordinary objects, yet incredibly meaningful when offered by a wild animal. Many have described befriending a crow as a friendship without words, one built through silent observation, patience rewarded by trust, and quiet eye contact that lets you know you're not just a human watching nature anymore. You've become a part of it. Crows aren't tame. They don't pretend. They don't want anything from you except respect. And if you're patient enough, they may give you something rare in return, a genuine bond with the wild. Crows are truly remarkable beings, intelligent, loyal, emotional, deeply perceptive, and even kind in their own wild way. They defend their families with courage, quietly help raise their siblings, hold funerals for lost companions, use tools with purpose, and yes, they remember your face. And if you're patient enough to befriend one, you'll discover that behind those dark eyes is a soul that's been watching you all along. So give them a chance. No cages, no leashes, just a few quiet minutes each day, a consistent place, a bit of healthy food, and a heart willing to respect something wild. One day, as you pass by that familiar corner and hear a caw from above, you'll smile, because you'll know someone has noticed you, greeted you, and is waiting for you. Are you ready to become a crow's friend? If this journey spoke to you, don't forget to share this video, leave a comment, and subscribe, so we can keep exploring the quiet wonders of the natural world together.